Hey folks, Joko here, and I'm here to do another feedback video. This time I didn't catch the person's name, but it's once again what is your opinion of this essay? A question. I should preface that if I look kind of like sweaty, it's not particularly hot. I just feel hot. I, I cooked some food tonight. I had some garlic sautéing in butter, and that should have, I didn't really smell it. Loss of smell, low-grade fever. Now they say that, at least right now, half the people in this country that they're testing are turning up positive for COVID. Half the people. Well, that's half the people they're testing, right? So that's people who have good reason to be tested. And, you know, I I know like maybe a dozen people who have had the disease. That not I never meet them face to face. These are all online friends, but it's pretty bad, really bad. People die. I know people whose family have died, and I don't want to get it. I'm timed to get the vaccine that's just around the corner. But if I did get it, I'd be like, oh, hey, finally. My best friend here in Mandalay went and got tested, and it turns out he had the COVID antibodies present in his system, meaning that he'd had COVID and didn't even know it. And who knows how long ago in the past that was. But now him I see frequently, but I don't know. Maybe I should go get a test. Probably a good thing to do. But for now, we are looking at this question. As was written an essay for. In many places, new homes are needed, but the only space available for building them is in the countryside. Some people believe it is more important to protect the countryside and not build new homes there. What is your opinion on this? Now, this is a general training question. What is your opinion on this? Now, all of the significant training, the work that's been done to help people prepare for IELTS have started with the academic questions. And it's really important that you identify the type of question that you're facing and use a strategy and use an essay structure that fits and matches that particular type of question. So what is your opinion on this question? Well, despite the presence of some people believe, this is not a discuss both views and give your own opinion question. No. It is an opinion question. It is, here's the statement. To what extent do you agree or disagree with the idea that it's more important to protect the countryside? More important than what? Building homes. Okay, that's you're not discussing the groups. You're not discussing the people. You're not discussing the viewpoints. You're just discussing one viewpoint. You're discussing the idea of it being more important to protect the countryside. Okay? So now that we got that out of the way, let's see what our candidate wrote. Using our fancy... here is the article, the essay as a whole. 380 words. That's too much. Introduction. With growing populations, plural, odd thing to make plural, there is a scarcity of land in the urban areas. Which ones? Comma. Due to which, in many places, the only option left is to build accommodations in the countryside. This is a comma splice. Okay, this should not be all one sentence like this. It was according to there is a scarcity of land in areas. Full stop. Due to this, comma, in many places. That comma is comma splice. And watch your words here. Accommodations are temporary. Okay, accommodations are places that you stay, not places that you live. It's not the same as homes or apartments or condos. Accommodations are hotels and temporary places to live. Those are accommodations. Some people believe that it is more crucial. Now, crucial is an extreme adjective, right? Something is crucial or it isn't. I don't like using qualifiers, more even comparatives with extreme adjectives. Okay? If it's crucial, it's crucial. It can't be more crucial or less crucial. If it's less crucial, it's not really crucial now, is it? It's just kind of very important. Now, yeah, more important? Yes, that's what it said. But crucial means something different. And it doesn't work well with more. To conserve. No, conserve and preserve are different things. Conserve does not mean what you want it to here. The countryside. Well, you just said countryside in the last sentence by not making it a residential place. Now, the countryside is referring to a whole class of areas, and it is not a singular thing. We talk about the countryside, but it's not like, oh, it can't be a residential place. It is too big. All of the countryside? While others, do we mention that in the question? There's no mention of others. While others give more importance to the housing. No, that's not mentioned in the question. However, wrong connector. However means but, and it needs to create a contrast between the thought that came before it and the next thought. Here, what is the previous thought? Previous thought is that there's two groups of people who believe different things. However, I believe both. No. However doesn't work there. However, I partially agree with the former view. Now, if you partially agree with the former view, protecting the countryside, as protecting the countryside is more important, former view as constructing housing as well as preserving the countryside is vital for survival. Wow, vital. Is it really vital? No, it's not. I mean, it doesn't affect you or me. I mean, vital? Hence the title of this piece, Don't Make Everything Vitally Crucial. Okay, because now you've set yourself up that you have to show that both things are vital. And you don't. But you don't need to set yourself up that way. You don't need to say everything is vital. It doesn't make your essay stronger. Okay. Protecting. Now, there's no connection between the first paragraph, the introduction, and the second paragraph. You need some type of connection between your paragraphs. A cohesive device. Protecting the outskirts of the city. The countryside's a lot more than just that. The outskirts of the city plays an indispensable role. There's that vital and crucial and indispensable thing again. You're setting yourself up to having to show that, right? That's the topic sentence, right? So you have to support the idea that it's indispensable in maintaining the biodiversity of the ecosystem. Which one? The ecosystem? Ecosystem is not like countryside or city, which will take the, and we know what we mean, all of them. I don't think ecosystem works that way. The primary reason for what? The primary reason is that the wildlife, animals, and plants. What? Those words don't collocate. The wildlife, animals, and plants. The wild animals and plants? In other words, wildlife? Wildlife covers both animals and plants. Mostly reside. No, animals don't reside. People reside in the countryside, which is far away from the human habitat. Now wait a minute. Here in the topic sentence, we were talking about the outskirts of the city. The outskirts of the city. And now we have gone far away from the human habitat. Not very focused on what you're referring to here. If homes start building, can homes build? People build homes. If homes are built in this area, the natural habitat, we just said habitat, of the wildlife species, which ones? Why is it the? will be disturbed. Disturbed. And you don't need because of human interference. We know this. This will increase the vulnerability, all right? So it'll make them more vulnerable and then bring them to extinction. That's a big jump. Vulnerable, dead, gone. It's not coherent. It doesn't make sense. All right. You're just like throwing words out there because you hope that you'll get vocabulary points. Bring them to extinction, the flora and the fauna. With this, with the extinction of flora and fauna, certain animals which depend on these plants, what plants? You were talking about flora and fauna, which means plants and animals. These plants would not be able to sustain themselves. Well, there you go. Thus, bringing the wild species to, not on, the verge of extinction. Now, wait a minute. A moment ago, they were likely to be extinct, and now they're on the verge, but they were just vulnerable. Where is it? More importantly, how is this vitally crucial? Okay, of what importance? Why do I care about the animals and plants? How is that important? What does it matter? You created the idea, in the first paragraph you said that it was vital, crucial. How? None of that is in here. Except for maybe from the plant's point of view, but who cares about the plants? I care about plants. I do. But you can't assume that someone does. You have to show. Conversely. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot to mark this one. Okay, well, we'll do it live. Conversely, one cannot ignore the basic housing need of residents. Residents? Well, they're not, if they don't have houses, they're not residents. Therefore, why the semicolon? Therefore, it is equally essential. Once again, same as before. Essential. I suppose things can be equally essential, but that to construct homes even if the only place available is in rural areas. The government should take charge of building condominiums. Why condominiums? And allocating the apartments, allocating them to the public. Huh? All right, so why? What does that have to do with the topic? Furthermore, civil authorities must also impose regulations on the residents of where? To preserve the green belt. What? The green belt? The green belt is not what you mean here. By not disposing of waste irresponsibly, and by restricting the movement of the people to a certain limit. Restrict the movement. How? What? Where? Why? A good illustration. This is not a what are the causes and solutions essay. A good illustration of this is that regular checks should be performed by conservationists that various trees are planted in the area. Are growing in the area? Or that they're going to make sure that these trees get planted. And why trees? Well, what's up with, why is that important? Hence, this would not only give residents housing space, that's not a word, not a hyphenated word, but would also consume less land and keep wildlife intact. How? Where? What? Because you won't put litter in the green belt? Certain trees will be there? How does that help the deer from getting run over by cars? How does that help the wolves and the foxes? And I really don't see you've really done anything in this paragraph to support the idea that housing in the countryside is crucial. You said it's crucial. It's very, very important. It is essential that we construct homes in the countryside. Why? Why can't we just tear down the homes in the city and build bigger homes? Or, tear down the houses and build skyscrapers. We could build housing at sea. It does say that the only place, but you don't do anything in this paragraph to explain why housing is crucial. Can't people live with their families or something? So, no, that's not answering the question. In conclusion, I knew it. Although some people believe that preserving rural areas is of prime importance than providing homes to people. Now, than is only used in a comparative, okay? So you can't use than with prime, okay? Because it's either of a more importance than, yes. So there's a grammar mistake. Providing homes to people. In conclusion, although I believe both are equally crucial, no such thing. Because ignorance of either of them would make the survival difficult. Okay, here in this one, ignorance, I see what you were trying to say here. Ignoring, right? You are trying to use the noun form of the verb ignore. Well, the noun form of ignore is ignoring, the gerund, okay? Ignorance is a different noun. It refers to not knowing, has nothing to do with ignoring. So I can see how one might make that mistake, but look it up. Ignorance is not the noun of ignore. Ignoring either of them would make the survival difficult. You have not shown that. You've shown that it makes survival difficult maybe for certain plants and animals that might be on the verge of extinction, or they might just be vulnerable, or they might be like certainly extinct. We're not really clear on that. And then we're not really clear why housing is important either. So you haven't answered the question. Your coherence it's incoherent in many places, meaning that it doesn't make any sense and the sentences go on far too long. There's not much referencing, far too much repetition of vocabulary. You're using vocabulary incorrectly, trying to impress. Your grammar's pretty good, not a lot of grammar mistakes, but enough that it would affect your score. So understand what kind of question you're answering. You don't need to support the idea of housing being important because you don't have to present it, but you did. You said that housing is crucial. Well, then show that. And the survival of what? Of who? I mean, it just doesn't, don't set yourself up by making these grand claims of crucial importance and vital and, cannot be indispensable and things like that. No. Ignore, avoid those. It just makes things harder for you.